Calling all my sweeties to the forefront. I'm your host, Renee Hayslett, and this is the Keep It Positive Sweetie Show. Our guest this week has been in our minds, but after the Netflix series Forever, she is forever cemented in our hearts. Kids family, please give a very warm welcome to Karen Pittman. Karen, thank you so much. I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties this morning.
No,
Thank you for your patience. You look
fine.
absolutely stunning. So beautiful
Thank you.
as
It's a joy. I've
always.
been trying so hard to keep it positive, sweetie. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna try so hard to get on here.
I know. And I remember we met each other. It's about 2 years ago at Essence Women of Hollywood. And you were in the line with Chantal. And I had just started watching the morning show. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, it's Karen Pittman. And Chantal introduced us. And I was so excited to meet you. And you are just, the first time I watched the show and you came across the screen, I was like, who is this woman? You literally radiate through the screen. You really do.
Oh, I'm so glad. It's a really good show. It's a good platform
Mm.
for the stories that I like to tell. And
Yes.
you know how important it is to surround yourself with people who really want to do the thing you want to do, but also will run at the pace you want to
Right.
run.
Yeah, that is
And
so
these folks
true.
are keeping up pace that I like to tell stories at, and it's a real gift to be on this show. I'm
Yes.
excited for you to see season 4 because you're gonna
I
love it.
cannot wait. So excited. Cannot wait. What was it at an early age that really drove you to the arts and made you want to pursue acting and singing?
Um, I think really it was a strong desire to self-express.
Mm.
I don't think it was any nobody in my family had this desire, had this need as much as I did. And I was one of
Yeah.
those young girls with big feelings, like
Mm.
big feelings. Like no one knew how to help me process any of the
Yeah.
stuff that I was going through. No one knew how to talk me down. No one knew um, how to get me out of my moods. And it
Yeah.
was really about going into that space as a child and into my imagination. It was
Mm.
imagination work. And
Yeah.
that's some of the most important work I think that children do when they
Yes.
just have time to play. Do you know?
Hmm.
Part of the challenge with technology and devices is that children don't experience that other side, the other emotional side that we try to keep them away from, happiness and oh,
Hmm.
everyone's joyful. And actually there's aspects to life that you contend with
Mm.
emotionally that are a little dark.
Yeah.
And as a child,
Mm.
you build up emotional resilience, right?
Yes.
And for me, I did that at a very early age. I was just born with a lot of big feelings.
Hmm.
So singing and acting was my way of processing some of it. And my parents just left me alone to go do it.
I love that. Were you an only child?
No, I have four other siblings, and they could be actors. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
They're not. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they have their own drama. But it was a big family. It was a
Yeah.
family of seven.
Wow.
And yeah, yeah. And we're all still close, but
Mm.
have, our paths have diverged. And my eldest sister and my brother live in Nashville. Uh,
Wow.
my
Yeah,
other
I
sister
have.
is a doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, you have family in
Really?
Nashville.
My sister just got her doctorate. She also works in the health field as well. And she lives in
Oh,
Nashville.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes. She went to Hume
It's such a
Fog,
small world.
super smart. So I'm sure you're familiar with Hume
Gosh, you
Fog
fog.
Magnet School.
Wow, are you kidding me? Am I coming? Yeah, you fog.
Yes, that's where she went to high school.
I was talking to somebody the other day in Nashville. They were like, "Yeah, White's Creek." I was like, "White's Creek? Do you remember White's Creek High
Yes.
School?" From
Yes.
such a long time ago. I was like, "Oh my gosh." Yeah, it took me back.
Yes. It's such a small world. I love that your parents allowed you to be free because a lot of times,
Yeah.
especially when in Black culture, they have so much structure because we've had to, right? So the fact that
Mhm.
your parents allowed you to be free and look who you've become because of that freedom is so beautiful. I love that and the way you're able to express yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah. So most recently, you captivated our screens with Forever. It is a culture phenomenon. Like we
It's a
absolutely love
changer.
the show.
It
Listen,
changed so
so
that
much.
thing changed.
Yeah. It
Never
did.
been a part of anything like that. Huge, 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 huge,
So
huge,
good.
huge.
Like I was glued to the screen. Like next episode. It was so good. Mara had talked about you and her being friends for a long time. What was that
Hmm.
process like? Because I know when writers are writing, there's characters or people that come to their mind as they're writing, like, wait, this is Karen Pittman. Was that one of those moments where Mara called and said, "Hey girl, I got a role for you," or is this something you had to actually
Well,
audition for?
no, I did not audition for it, and we, well, Mar and I came back into each other's lives in a real way
Yeah.
in 2009,
Mhm.
and I was pregnant with my daughter,
Oh,
and we started spending time together as mothers, and I'd always known that she's a writer. She's doing extraordinary television shows over
yes.
decades of time centering Black women.
Hmm.
And I just admired her and supported her as a friend. Of course,
Yeah.
I'm an actor,
Hmm.
but I just never thought about, Crystal, you get to a point in your life when you understand that you don't need to actually access someone for their resources. Like your
Yes.
relationships don't need to be
Hmm.
transactional.
Ooh, I
Some
wish
folks that
everybody
I
knew
have
that.
in
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Some people in my life are just there. They're
Mhm.
CEOs. They're doing things.
Yeah.
Is there synergy between what I do and their brand, or between what I do and their writing, or what I do and their directing? Probably.
Yeah.
But it's really just about supporting that
Mhm.
friendship, supporting
Yeah.
that relationship, and
Mhm.
being there for that
I
person. And
love
so
that.
for many, many years, that was me and Mara. And
Wow.
we went on a girls' trip to go see Usher in Vegas, the very, very last show. We have a friend and Usher's publicist.
Hmm.
So he got us some tickets, and we were, hey, we were trying to do it at the
Yes.
last show. You know, we were doing it all. And we woke up and just hung out, girlfriends, just
Yes. You
hung
need
out.
that. That's so important.
We needed it so badly. I didn't even realize it, but the
Mm.
sphere was, had just opened. Like we were just vibing, just
Yeah.
vibing. And next morning, went to have breakfast, and she said, I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this character. She had seen me in a play that a sister named Dominique Morisseau had written
Mhm.
years ago called Pipeline. And it was about a
Yes.
mother who was grappling with her daughter, her son,
Mhm.
maybe ending up in the school to prison pipeline, which is so serious, is very serious and a real thing in our community in this country.
Mhm.
And so she loved that role, and that was really the last time I had done a mother role that had
Mhm.
depth and nuance and layers,
Mhm.
written by obviously a Black woman. And
Yeah.
but I had been offered other things in between,
Mhm.
but not with the same nuances, not with the same, care. So when
Yeah.
Mara, asked me about, hey, would you have some time to look at this role? I was like, yeah, sure, girl, let me see what you got. Stop
Right.
playing around. And so, stop playing around. You Mara Brock a Q.
Right. That
You better let me
part.
see that. You better let me see that job.
Yes.
So yeah, and it just was synergistically, it just worked. In so many ways, Dawn is like that mom that we all know, but like
Yes.
just recently came into herself. Do you
Hmm.
know? We couldn't have seen her like 10 years ago and
Right. Yeah.
believed that she existed.
Hmm.
But with the visibility of an African American president and an African American first lady, and the
Yes.
visibility of people like Stacey Abrams
Yes.
and Toni Morrison and Oprah Winfrey, we suddenly understand that there are Black women who have incredible wisdom,
Hmm.
who um, represent feminism in many different ways, but are very, very wealthy.
Yes.
They've financial independence for themselves and been able to lift their families at the same time. We really do believe that that person exists in the world. So this
Yeah.
was me throwing my hat in the ring of what a ambitious and well-intentioned and um, ferocious, wealthy mother looks like in the Black community, who's
Yeah.
grounded in
Oh,
love and community. You know,
yeah.
this is my take on it as an artist. I know so many women like Dawn. My mother was a version of Dawn. She
Yeah.
aspired to be Dawn in many ways, and I'm
Yes.
certainly her child in that way. So
Yeah. Oh no, you captivated Don. It was perfect. And like there was no other person to play that role. You were the perfect fit for it. And you and Wood, like I love the whole family dynamic. I actually got to interview your son on the show, Justin. When was it? BT
Michael.
again. Michael, yes, for
Oh yeah,
during
yeah, 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 yeah,
the BT Media House. Yeah, Michael Cooper Jr. I
yeah.
got to introduce him, interview him, and he was such a light. And he talked about how amazing it was working with the both of you and working with
Hmm.
Mara and just the experience that he took from that coming from Texas and just kind of looking around like, do I belong here? And how you all
Mm.
rallied around him and made sure that he really was comfortable in that space because I know how daunting it can be sitting. I don't know for sure, but I can imagine how daunting it would be sitting in between you and Wood and being like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, yeah. The great part about Michael is that he's smart enough to know that he doesn't know everything.
Mhm.
You know,
Come on,
he's
say
not
that
one of
again.
those.
Yeah.
He's smart enough to know that he doesn't know everything, and
Yeah.
he's open to other people's wisdom.
Mhm.
But also, I mean, me and Wood were simply like tap into the wisdom that
Yeah.
you already have inside of you, and he is Justin. So many
Yes.
ways he's believable because
Hmm.
he is Justin, and he's really just starting. He's such an incredible artist.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think you guys are going to see him evolve in this beautiful way over his
Yes.
career. I can't wait to see what happens. But
Same.
this
I can't.
character was a perfect fit for him.
Hmm.
Perfect fit.
No, it definitely
Perfect
was.
cast. Yeah.
I love the way Mara showed the Black community and different dynamics. You talked about you being the wealthy family, but then you go to the not so wealthy part of town, and it still shows the beautiful family dynamic and the different characters. Even Lovey's dad. About how he was a little out there, but it shows all these different characters and how even in the craziness, we're all so much alike than not. And I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you, when it came to playing that part, what were some of your real life experiences that you pulled from to really captivate and create your character the way you did?
Real life experiences. Well, I have a son who's entering college this year. And so,
Really?
yeah, so to
Whew.
have the anxiety and the drama
Yes.
of trying to get your son to finish his college application,
Hmm.
to formulate a plan and then stick with it. When
Yeah.
Dawn says, when he says, "Oh, you just got it all planned out," and she's like, "No, no, we have a plan." That was definitely taken from my life.
Wow.
My kids looked at Forever with me,
Okay.
and they were like, because they never looked at any of my stuff, but they really wanted to see it. And I got the series during Black History Month in February of like,
Wow.
y'all got it in May. I could watch it in February.
Right.
And they watched it with me and they were like, they wanted to binge watch the whole thing, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And they were like, Mom, we've had that conversation. My son said, we've had that conversation a few times.
Right.
Um, so that was definitely something that I took that um, love and affection and real sense of respect
Mhm.
and admiration, which is a very important form of love. I think
Yeah.
people underestimate the importance of admiration for
Hmm.
someone in your life. You admire them
For
deeply.
sure.
Is the same experience I have with my partner, Ade, my fiance, and I brought that to my relationship with Wood. Just
Hmm.
this real respect for him,
Yes.
and that's something to show your children.
Absolutely. No, for sure. Um, you talked about actually getting to watch. This is the first show your children actually watch with you. How did that feel as a mother to sit down and watch a show that your children wanted to binge watch?
It was great. I mean, they didn't. I thought, well, are they gonna? First, I thought, are they gonna like it?
Right.
And of course, as an actor, you picking yourself up. You're like, why did I wear that in that scene? Oh my God. But then you know, uh, what ended up happening and resonating with me was this sense of them understanding, you know, what I'm doing,
Yeah.
where I am when I'm not with them. They know the
Mhm.
only thing as important to them is this life I live where of purpose. Hopefully I'm doing something in the world and sharing myself and actualizing and self-realizing. But
Mm-hmm.
so oh, okay, so this is what you do. I can see
Yeah.
that over their face. Oh, this where
Right.
you go, that thing. Because all they see is like, the Instagram, the social media work, all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. But there is a lot of work that goes into it. And I think it sort of suddenly dawned on them
Mm-hmm.
that, oh, this is actually good. This is why you do all this. Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to being a mother and balancing your career and balancing motherhood, what are some of the principles and things that you put into place so that you can balance it well?
Well, Crystal, this is my perspective on having it all. It's a juggle. You
Mm,
can't have one ball in your hand for very long before you throw
yeah.
in the other one out, right?
Right.
So that's my perspective on it. And it's about prioritizing. But I think one of the things I share with actually all the women that I work with, because I have the great privilege of working with Mara, and it's a woman-led, woman-centric sort of production and set. And then I had this great privilege of honor working with Mimi and Jen and Reese and Charlotte on the morning show.
Yes.
And at the bottom of all of these choices is this very intentional decision to do it with love, to do it with
Yeah.
care, to
Mm-hmm.
do it in a thoughtful way.
Yeah.
And um, there's nothing, you know, flip about how these choices are made and how we live and, what we do, the shows the episodes, that we work on, the things that is a very intentional space. And I
Yeah.
found that that's very important with family.
Mm-hmm.
You
Absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
who's around my kids, who comes
Mm-hmm.
into my home.
Mm.
I saw sinners. You don't invite everybody into your home.
Come
You know what I
on.
mean? I saw.
Yes.
I heard Brian. I said, yeah, Brian, that's exactly right.
Yes. Everybody could not come into your
Not,
house.
not
No.
everybody can come in here. No, thank you.
Yes.
So all of that is just very intentional. That's one of the things that I put in place,
I love that.
intentionality.
Yeah, that's
What
amazing.
about you?
Well, I'm not a mom, so really for me it's
No,
balancing
I know that. I mean, but you have family right around
family,
you. And how
family,
do
yeah.
you, what's your,
Yeah,
yeah.
honestly, I plan vacations with them when I have downtime. I make sure I bring everybody out so we can have some time together and just be present. For me, I'm always traveling, I'm always working, and that time, especially as I get older and I realize that my time with my parents is it's quickly dwindling down. It's like I need to make the most of these moments where I have them with me. So I call them my kids now. I'm like, all right, kiddos, what are we doing next? So I love spending time with my parents, and I have siblings and they have children, so spending time with them is a lot of fun. For Labor Day, we did like a yacht day in Miami, and I took the kids to the ice cream museum, and we did a beach day so they could build sandcastles. So I do all the things that I
That's so
would
much
do if I had
fun.
children. Yeah, and they have
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have
amazing time. Try
fun.
to bring them into my world and share the fruits of my labor, honestly.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Amazing.
And yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
time. You talked about playing the role in Pipeline, and I want to know because that
Mm,
was such an emotionally intense role. For
mm.
me, when I'm playing Fatima, it takes me a little while to come out of that character. How long does it take you
Yeah.
to come out of characters, especially something like this in Pipeline?
Pipeline was hard.
Yeah.
That was 8 shows a week.
Hmm.
8 shows a week, 6 days
Right.
a week. I couldn't. When I'm doing a play, I
Yeah.
can't. I can't
You're in
come out.
it.
I
Yeah.
just don't. And I
Hmm.
try not to take too many roles like that where you bring them home. My
Hmm.
kids were very young at the time, so it
Yeah.
wasn't as tough on them, but
Hmm.
same level of anxiety that Dawn has, but much more. A lot of things were manifesting in her in Naya's son, the character's name Naya, and
Hmm.
Naya's son that were really much more urgent for her. Um, but at the end of what I will say is at the end of every season with a character, no matter if I'm working on television, no matter
Mhm.
how long or short the season is, if I'm doing a character, I'll write them a letter at the end of it. You
Really?
might
I
want to think
love
about this.
that.
Yeah, with Fatima or
Yeah.
whatever you're working on.
Hmm.
I write a letter to the character at the end of the season, and I because we share this space, we share a
Yeah.
body, and
Yes.
that's a world in and of itself.
Yeah, no, it
Um,
is.
so I write her a letter, and I thank her for all the experiences that we've had, and I sort of, in my own way, sort of share what I felt and what impacted me, and say
Hmm.
I'm going to say goodbye now. We're going to see each other again, and I'm
Yeah.
sure they will whatever, but great
Wow.
job and talk to you soon and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. It's really helpful.
I can imagine that being helpful. I'm gonna take that on. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yes. I never thought about
Because
that.
it's hard
That's
enough to kind of say goodbye to you guys have a very intense schedule,
we
right? Because you
do.
guys are
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So you run the gamut of
The gamut.
emotions,
Yeah.
right? And you really do
Listen.
have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, no, I do. I'm telling you, like when I come out of filming, I literally feel like I'm schizophrenic. Like I feel like I've lost my mind
Yeah,
because it's so many different ranges of emotions in 2 weeks where I'm like, my
yeah.
body doesn't know the difference. My body doesn't know that I'm acting. It's like, do we need to go admit yourself into a psych ward? Like, what's happening right now?
You do. You need to have a therapist. If you're an actor, you don't have a therapist. That's a hard thing. You know what I mean? Like you
Right.
absolutely because you do have to run through those actual emotions. And
Mhm.
those things live in your body. I mean, people talk a lot about it. Acting is not a mental thing. Acting is really, really physical, emotional. There's a psychological,
Yeah.
kinesthetic experience to it.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, yeah, I certainly have that experience. And in my shows, we don't run through um, our work in a sort of marathon pace. It's
Right.
very rather sprint. You guys
Yeah.
run through it at a sprint. We run it
Hmm.
at a marathon. So you're
Yeah.
constantly conserving
Hmm.
energy and not letting it all out. Like
I love that.
the thing about the morning show is that or even forever is that human beings don't change that much. So the
Hmm.
conditions upon which you actually let it out have to be a very extreme. And that
Hmm.
maybe happens once in a season, not
Right.
over episodes
Yes.
um,
Whew.
of time. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. No, for sure. Um, You had mentioned in an interview with Feeding America that it takes a lot of strength to be a
Yeah.
single mom, and it takes even more strength and resilience to be a single parent while facing hunger and trying your hardest to put
Yeah.
food on the table for your kids. The biggest obstacle was overcoming the shame I felt. And
Mm,
in this KIPS community, I know there are single parents, and we are living in a day where the economy is the unemployment rates are at an all-time high, but the cost of living is not going down. um,
mm.
how did you overcome the shame that you felt during that time, and why do you feel like you felt shame? You didn't put yourself in that predicament. Why do you think you felt that?
Well, I mean, I absolutely felt like there was some part of it that I needed to be accountable for.
Mm,
I needed to be responsible
mm,
for. Um, so many things affect your quality of life, including the relationships, the people you have in it.
mm.
And I had a lot of people in my life that were undermining my ability to move forward. And I had to, detach from them
Yeah.
in a way. And I understood that because those people had my attention, um, and I was paying them a lot of attention. And by paying, I mean, what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I had
Right.
attention to
Hmm.
spend. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I didn't. I needed to be focused on it. So in the areas where I needed to be responsible, I
Hmm.
had to look at that and I had some shame around it. But
Yeah.
shame is one of those interesting things. Shame, the word should derives
Hmm.
from shame. I
Yeah.
should have done, it's
Right.
an interesting thing as a human being. In that condition, you can either use it to motivate you or you can use it to stay down. And my parents were manifestors.
Hmm.
My parents raised in Jim Crow.
Mm.
Um, so they had to think very strategically
Yeah.
about how they were going to live in the world and still be able to be successful and still be joyful and raise children that were joyful.
Right.
So, I come from that stock. That's in my DNA. That's genetic for me.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I dealt with my feeling of shame and the stigma was really just to be reminded of where I came from and from whom I belong to, or to whom I belong,
Mm-hmm.
and to, to really deliberate and think about my parents and what they had been through. It's one of those times where you think of to your like they had 5 kids.
Yeah.
I have two, and I am not doing what I need to do with my children. And how do I make that? Okay, I made some mistakes.
Yeah.
Um, to be human in the human condition is to
Mm-hmm.
make mistakes.
Absolutely.
Um, uh, I do feel like part of being a human is failing, is accepting failure, not
Mm-hmm.
as the worst possible thing to happen, but as a function of just being human.
Mm-hmm.
So I think really it was for me to do the work of writing my path,
Yeah.
to course correct, and that
Mm-hmm.
was reaching out to Feeding America, who had a church that I could go to and get fresh fruits and vegetables,
Oh, wow.
not just canned.
Right.
But the reason why I like Feeding America is because they do, so many of these urban areas are food deserts. You have to go
Mm-hmm.
on the bus and go there and go over there to get actually fresh vegetables. It's really, really tough.
Yeah.
Easier to get frozen or canned but it's not
Yeah.
always the healthiest thing for you and your family. And you
Absolutely.
want to raise healthy children.
Mm.
Um, a sickly child is the, you know, just so exhausting,
Yeah.
disheartening
Mm.
nothing worse than having a child that's unwell. Like,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So really it was about handling my own personal business, but
Mhm.
also, about letting people come and help me, reaching
Yeah.
out, saying, I need help, I need it. And
It's so hard for people to ask for help nowadays. It's so hard.
it
Yeah.
is, my children were great motivators for me, though. I also
Yeah.
thought, who do I want them to be in the
Mhm.
world? And yeah, so that's kind of how I got over it. But I also feel everyone has their own journey, Crystal.
Yep. Hmm.
Part of why I love this podcast because it is about keeping it positive. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Hmm.
You
Through it
know,
all.
you,
Yeah.
you laying in a ditch, only one way but up. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. Yes.
You can't go no further.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I genuinely believe. I've manifested some extraordinary things
Yeah.
um, in my life when I had no choice but to put out my hand
Ooh,
and ask for
mm,
help.
that's
Right?
powerful. Yeah. No, for sure. You talked about how the loss of your mom in 2016, how it gave you a new perspective on what it meant to be a mother. How did that shift your
Hmm.
perspective in that moment?
Well, many things. I mean, towards the end of my mother's life, she, let me know that she hadn't done everything she wanted to do.
Mm. She had
And
not.
she had not
Mm.
been able to do everything she wanted to do. And she
Yeah.
could feel the decline.
Mm.
She could feel it was, she was going to have to leave this world. And I just remember thinking, I don't want to, I don't want to be in that
Mhm.
position.
Yeah.
I don't want she would say like I had these children. I really wanted to be a good mother. I wanted to do the right thing by them. And I understood that
Yeah.
pull. But I also saw that her choice made her feel
Mm.
small. And my mother was
Mm.
an
Oof.
enormous force of life. She was just
Yeah.
this force of life.
Hmm.
Happens when your life force goes in the direction not of your own life, right?
Right.
So, or your own journey, your own purpose, rather your purpose, you feel like your individual purpose is.
Yeah.
So I learned from my mother to stay focused on what I needed to do, be very deliberate about what I needed to do. Speaking to this spiritual advisor that I have, and
Hmm.
because I still have sort of a deep conflict with that. Just maybe yesterday, I was talking to her about, day before yesterday, I was talking to her about it.
Hmm.
She said, I don't want you to make the assumption that your mother isn't completing the things that she wanted to do in this life where she is now. You know, her purpose and her energy and her force, her life force goes on. And some
Yeah.
of it goes on in you. And that gave me great solace to think
Mm.
that maybe she didn't complete it here while she was with me, but she's completing it where she is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's such a gift. Wow, thank you for that advice,
Yeah. Oh,
because it means we're never wasting time. We're never losing time. We're going
no.
to finish everything that we need to. And my mother was an extraordinary gift of a parent. I mean,
Yeah.
she really did put us first for so long in her life.
Hmm.
So, in pragmatic ways, but also in very purposeful, strategic ways too. Both my parents were scientists. I don't know if said this.
No,
These they
really.
were both They were both scientists, but such artists in
Mm.
their work as scientists and
Yeah.
educators, and just so smart and intelligent. So, um, and my mother very much gave me the representation of a woman who's not only beautiful but extraordinarily intelligent. I understood
Yeah.
I needed both, needed to be both of those things in her, watching her. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. Well, I know she is smiling down on you for sure. And I love that
I hope
your
so.
spiritual guide told you that you are living out some of the things that she probably wanted to do. So I'm glad that you
For
find
sure.
solace in that. Yeah. That is so
Yeah,
beautiful. I lost
yeah,
my mother at a very young age, and I always wonder what she wanted to really do,
yeah,
and if
yeah.
I'm making her proud. So I think that's every daughter's hope. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I think we're both sort of living that out, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Last 8 years, since my mother died, my career has, shot up like
Mhm.
crazy in the
Yeah.
last 8 years. And I know that has to be her life force in
Mhm.
me and
Yeah.
around me, right? And pushing me forward in many ways. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yes.
something that as a mother and daughter, we probably couldn't have done if
Mhm.
she were still here. That level of energy and support, how it
Yes.
is. Sometimes mothers are sometimes
Mhm.
mother and daughter are sometimes fighting with each other. But so
Yes.
I'm gifted to have had the mother that I had. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some things that you have sown into your own daughter when it comes to doing everything that she wants to do, living fully? And I'm sure you're an example of that to her every single day, but what are some things that you tell her?
Well, my daughter's different. Crystal, she's so different from me.
Really?
I have to say this. Oh my gosh. I would never have met anyone like Lena had I not born Lena into the world. Like I would never have met her because
Uh-huh.
she would never want to mess around with me. You know what I mean? She would never want to, I don't mess with her is what she would probably be. Like she just would never want to have anything to, um, what do I teach my daughter? What was the question again?
Yeah, what are some things that you sown into your daughter when it comes to living her life fully? And I was saying that you probably are a great example for her in that every single day.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason why I brought that up is because she's so different. So
Yeah.
what I give Lena
Hmm.
has to be very specific.
Got
She
it.
doesn't hear everything I say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say, know, wear this and do that, say and that, and that. Other. She'd be like, Ma, I ain't like that. So just, I don't do that or whatever she says. So I have to be very, very strategic about what I
Hmm.
tell her.
Yeah.
Um, Most of the things that I talk to Lena about are around confidence,
Mm.
about how you imbue your choices with
Hmm.
authenticity,
Hmm.
um, creating a life that looks like yours and not like somebody else's.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
I tell her, you want your life. You don't want somebody else's. You want the life that you is meant,
Yeah.
right, for you.
Hmm.
And so, um, that's I give my children a lot of agency, a lot of power. Their
Hmm.
opinions matter a lot to me. Now they don't have a lot of experience. My daughter's only been in the world 14 years,
Yeah.
but I make sure that she knows herself best, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
also make sure that she loves herself, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
Um, you're going to be with Lena for the rest of your life. I
Mm-hmm.
say to her, make sure you like her.
Oh,
Make
that's
sure you
good.
take care. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's your boo. That's your, ace boon. Like you need to make sure that you're taking care of her
Mm-hmm.
and that you're having fun because you're gonna be with her for the rest of your life, you know.
Yes.
Um, so all those things that, you know, are important.
Mm-hmm.
My
Absolutely.
daughter's a Virgo.
Is she,
She
oh,
gets it.
is it her birthday? Has it passed yet, or is it coming up
It's next week. It's
next week?
next week.
Okay.
It's
Uh,
next week.
well,
It's next
happy
week.
early birthday, Lena. Later, whenever
She's
this
gonna love
airs.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you once said that motherhood is overrated. What did you mean by that?
Pregnancy, labor, delivery,
All the things.
crazy, crazy. It's a
Yeah.
lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, a
Whew.
lot of physical. It's a gap. I mean, I think that we as women are sold that, we are sold this thing that being a mother is the penultimate experience for rather than a penultimate, is the ultimate experience for
Yeah.
a woman. Um,
Hmm.
maybe behind being a wife. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I, I've had both experiences, and I strongly disagree.
Mm.
There are women in the world who don't have children, and I wouldn't say they're missing out. I
Wow.
would say there are many areas where you can nurture and support and love and
Hmm.
care in the
Yeah.
same way that I do for my children.
Hmm.
And the number one area that women can do it is to raise themselves up, is to support themselves, is to, be their own mother,
Yeah.
and their
Mm.
own father in many ways.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, that's what I meant by that. I mean,
Yeah.
it has been rewarding. Like I
Hmm.
did really need children to grow up. And
Hmm.
I remember being a child wanting
Yeah.
a young girl wanting
Hmm.
children.
Yeah.
Um, even more than I wanted a husband, I wanted children.
Hmm.
Um, but but yeah, but I think that you don't necessarily free. Maybe you don't need to freeze your eggs.
Hmm.
Maybe you don't need to,
Yeah.
um, stay with that guy because you really do want to have kids and you feel like
Ooh.
that the biological clock is ticking. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you
Uh,
don't need to do that. Maybe there are
yes.
other options. Do you know? Um, so physically having a child, I think, is very, very difficult.
Hmm.
And raising children is, next level. But
Yeah.
having said that, I have a very good friend of mine who's pregnant right now. And if she's listening
Really.
to this, I want her to know it's worth it. Keep going. She's 37 weeks along and she's
Yeah.
about to have her baby. And if she's listening to this, I want her to know you can do it and it's going to be great. It's fun. It's a great time. Celebrate it.
Right. That is funny. But you really just spoke to me because I am 42 and
Yeah.
I just opened up about going to the fertility doctor. I haven't had any
Oh, yeah.
children. Yeah, and you're right. Sometimes we stay in relationships because we feel like our biological clock is ticking. There are times where we feel like we're missing out on something, and society has put this great emphasis on marriage and having children. And thank you, because even just in what you just said gave me some peace about where I am in my life, and things are
Yeah.
great, and I don't have to put
Yeah.
the added pressure on myself.
No, I don't think so. There's,
Yeah.
uh, Jennifer has said this, Aniston has said this, I have nurtured and am a mother to many children. None of them are, necessarily my own, but
Mhm.
obviously not her own, but she's nurtured and supported. And that is a kind of mothering in the
Yes,
world. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Um, and I mean, there's also, there's so many children that need love and support.
It
So, if you're
is.
not able to biologically have a child, it's not
Mhm.
as if you can't have a child
Mhm.
in your life. And listen, I
Yeah.
love a baby. I love a baby.
Yeah, me too. And I like to
A
give it
baby
back.
just right. Right. And I love keep that baby. Every time I hear it, my kids will if I hear a baby crying, my kids know already I'm gonna get that crying baby away from my mother because she hates a crying baby. She cannot take it. Like my nerve, give me that, let me fix that baby. Okay, but I can take care of that baby. Let me have that. It's very on the train, on a
Right.
plane. Yeah, if I'm in a restaurant, they're like,
Mhm.
Mom, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just gonna stay in my chair. I'm not gonna go get the baby. I'm
Not
gonna
gonna go
stay.
get the baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can
It's
make the baby
intense.
stop crying. It's okay. Let me get the
I
baby.
have that's my special power. I can do it. Yeah.
That is so funny because my nephew, he was a crier. And I remember the first time
Yeah.
they came to visit me when he was like not even one, he was just a couple of months old. And I was like, he can sleep with me. And that baby cried. I was like, why did I tell him he could sleep in here? But
They were
then once
like,
he went to
okay,
sleep,
take that.
right. I was like, but finally when he went to sleep, it was just like, oh, he's so precious. I'm like, he's precious when he's quiet. But yeah, no,
He
I
said
love it
he's
now.
so cute when he's being good. Yeah, no,
Right.
that's true. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
How has that journey been for you though?
Oh,
You have lots of nieces and
yeah.
nephews and
Hmm.
do you feel do you feel less pressure now at 42 than you felt maybe in your 30s, or have you
Yeah, you
just
know what?
resolved that you are going to be on this journey in a singular kind of a way and
Yeah.
navigate it as a woman
Mhm.
I'm just navigating this conversation as a woman by
Yeah,
myself.
no, that's so good, Karen. Honestly, I I was so just focused on my career, focused on life and
Yeah.
enjoying life as it was happening, being present. And then I started dating someone who really wants kids. So now it's like, oh, okay, so this is a thing, you know? And before I wasn't
Hmm.
faced with that like kind of ultimatum, you know, and
Yeah.
I think it was one of those things where as the conversation kept coming up, I said, well, let me just go see what's going on, how many follicles I have and everything. So
How
that's
many follicles?
yeah, all the things. There's so much I just learned about my ovaries and uterus that I had no idea about. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
when you go do
Right.
the consultation. So
All the work. Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot of work. And then you have that follow-up appointment where they're like, okay, so here's the reality. If you're gonna do it, you got to do
Yeah.
it now. And I'm like,
You better hurry up. You better run on out this office and do it right now.
do
Good
it
luck.
right now.
Let us know.
I was like, oh Lord. So
Right.
I was like, let me just pray about it. And it's a long distance relationship. So after I prayed about it, I said, you know what? I'm not going to put the pressure on myself. If this is meant to be, it's going to be. And I'm going to continue to be present, continue to enjoy life. And yeah, that's where I am with it. But it is a lot and it can be daunting when you go get that follow-up meeting with the doctor and they're like, all right, so this is your reality. What are you going to do? And you have
Hmm.
72 hours to figure it out. Not literally, but
Right.
literally.
Right. Yeah, yeah, but actually literally. I love that. First of all, I love that we're talking about this because this is
Yeah.
like such a real conversation. One, the pressure
Yes.
that the world puts on you to actually be a mother and be a wife,
Right.
and then the pressure that happens when you're actually in a relationship where you really want to live in that space. I also think the other thing that happens is that a relationship changes so much when a
Hmm.
child enters it, when you bring another person into it. So you really do want to be thoughtful, intentional.
Yes.
It's going to change the entire dynamic of
Hmm.
how you live with that person and how you see them. And my partner is
Yeah.
also long distance. He has two
Really?
children, and
Okay.
I am, going to be kind of a stepmom. And I'm
Yeah.
actually having to think about what kind of stepmom I want to be. You
That's
know
a
what
real
I mean?
wow.
Yeah, it's like, okay, didn't see myself going in this direction, but here we are.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. You're going to be an incredible stepmom. I know you
I
will.
hope so.
Yeah, no, you will. You will. How is long distance for you? Like, is it in the States long distance or like overseas long distance? For me, it's overseas long
No,
distance.
he lives in New York and I live in
Okay.
LA, but it's
Okay.
such a wide, it's a
That's,
5.5,
I'm about
six
to say
hour
that's still
flight.
a
So it
long way
feels like
away,
another country.
basically.
It's like another country. It really is.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's for the birds. Deuces. I hate it. Like I'm
Mhm.
not a long distance. If I didn't love that man so much, um, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And especially with that time change, like you're up late and he's up early. It's like, oof,
It's the worst. And
it's,
he's got this schedule where he has to be in the bed at a certain hour, and I'm like,
you're like,
I'm just saying, yeah, yes, yes. And 3 hours. It's interesting because he's 3 hours ahead of me. So I'm
right.
always feeling like when I wake up, I'm behind him, like I'm trying to catch up. Like a
Yeah.
weird, that's weird in a relationship. And
Yeah.
um uh but gosh, it's actually works really well because I am so busy. It
Hmm.
actually works out really well because I have such a busy life.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
if he were around me all the time, I think we would get on each other's nerves.
See, that's my problem.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
We
And I
we would
think
get
it's,
on each other's nerves.
yeah, and when you're used to your space, it's just one of those things where you like your space.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
For
it's
example, he
different.
was here with me. Sean, Sean Harris, a makeup
Yes.
artist extraordinary, and
Amazing. We love
he
him.
was here doing my hair, my makeup, and hairstylist Marcia Hamilton was here, and
Yeah.
he just came in like, what is what is this? He
What is
loved it
this?
at first. He thought it was really cute, but now he's like, this is like, and I'm like, this is my life. This is real here. This is a real thing. But
Yes.
when he comes in, it's like, this is completely taken over the entire, and I'm like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
what I do, and
It.
so that's always, you know,
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Well, I
I don't
wish
walk
you
into
both
your
the
work and
best.
say,
Right.
yeah,
What is this?
yes, 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 yes. But no,
Right.
it's great. I'm madly in love with him. I'm not going anywhere. He proposed and I'm
I
gonna
know
hold
that's
him to it.
right. Now, would you move, Karen?
He lives in New York. I actually moved away from New York. We met when I was about to move to LA, like literally
Wow.
moved. So he's coming there, which is a
Oh,
great, a gift.
that works.
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that for both of you. And I'm gonna pray that nobody gets on anybody's nerves.
Yeah. Well, good luck. We're
She
getting
was
on each other's nerves all the time.
like, all
All the
right.
time we do.
Right, exactly. Karen, before we get out of here, I want to play a quick game with you.
Great.
It's called real rapid fire. So I'm just gonna ask you a question and you're gonna give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay. I got
All
rapid
right.
fire.
Okay, perfect. It says your favorite screenplay of all time.
Casino.
Oh, that's a good one. Favorite character you've played. This is hard.
Mm, Right now it changes, but right now it's Dawn. Dawn
Okay.
Edwards.
Yes. Favorite playwright.
Lynn Nottage, for sure. Extraordinary.
Mm, yes. Favorite
Extraordinary.
way to spend your day off when you do get a day off.
With my children, with Ade,
Uh,
um, in Cabo San Lucas,
oh yeah,
Mexico.
come on, Cabo San Lucas. I love, and that's not far from you,
Yeah.
so that's perfect.
No, it's so close.
Yes, I love that. Favorite guilty pleasure TV show.
Zatima.
Hey, that's my girl. And then your favorite quote or mantra to live by.
Oh God. Choose you.
Mm, I like that. Yes, that's what you tell your daughter. Choose you.
Choose
Karen, thank
you.
you so much. You have season
Thank
4 of the
you.
morning show coming out. Forever has been slated for season 2. I'm so excited about that. I can't wait for both of them. Is there anything else we need to be abreast on or anything we need to put on our radar that you have coming up?
So just know September 17th. It's only on Apple TV Plus. You're going to see the morning show, and it's a
Yes,
great season. Please,
I
please,
cannot
please, please watch.
wait. We're gonna
You're
watch
gonna
it.
love it.
No, I'm
You're
so
gonna love it.
excited. You're phenomenal in that show, so I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Thank you so
Thank you, Crystal,
much.
for this. I love you so much. You are the best at being
I
Crystal. I love it.
Thank you. I love you, Karen. This is a delight. Way to start my day. I do apologize again for the technical difficulties.
No
Thank you
worries.
for your patience, and you were so gracious. Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk soon.
All right, love. Have a good one. So today I am wearing brown leather boots by Paris, Texas. I'm wearing some balloon pants by Louis Vuitton. My sweater is a cashmere short sleeve sweater by Louis Vuitton. Thank you so much, Karen Pittman, for sharing her journey and specifically her perspective on motherhood with us. I took so much from this conversation that it's going to resonate with me, and I hope it resonates with you too. In the meantime, in between time, keep it positive, sweeties.